I'm calling it out. That's what DEFCON 3 meant. I'm going to call it out. It didn't mean I wish any harm on my
Yeah, you say you're going DEFCON 3 on them. Look, I'm out of time on this. I wanted to give you a platform to explain it.
Wait a second. I just said what I meant. Did you want me to say what I meant?
I hear you. You said what you meant.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about some recent comments Kanye West has made about Jewish people that have been very, very controversial. And it's not just been in one place and one time where he said these things. He said it on podcasts, on the Drink Champs podcast with fellow rapper Noriega as the host. And that was a whole dumpster fire. It was a 3.5 hour, 4 hour conversation. Certain clips had been picked from that. And there were some things that he said that were very hurtful to some people. And as a result, you got Noriega going on an apology tour. Then the video was taken down by Revolt, which is a company Nori works for, which is in part owned by Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Diddy. And I think YouTube took it down. There have been posts removed from Instagram and Twitter by Kanye West. It's been a lot going on. And it's to the point where if you catch him anywhere, he'll say the exact same thing. I think TMZ caught him outside of a car he was about to get in, and he was saying the same thing about Jews and the Zionists, record labels, all this, that, and the third. Now, before I get into it, let's roll some clips. And, of course, these clips will be available in the description. I think I'm going to play a little bit of the Drink Champs podcast. I would put the entire podcast in the box, but as far as I know, that got deleted. But let's watch this clip right here, and then we're going to get into a little bit more.
And wait, and to clarify, because you said on an anti-Semite vibe, meaning that that's what they're saying that you are on.
They're saying that because
you're not saying I'm anti-Semite.
But they said we a nigga and we started to believe it. You know, they said we crazy. They said I'm crazy, started to believe it. So whatever you want to call me, I'm going to embrace that and keep moving. I'm going to just be like a snowball. When a snowball's going down a hill, it don't say, I can't accept this tree. I can't accept this snow. I can't accept this dirt. I'm going to take the tree, the snow, the dirt, and just get bigger till I roll over your ass.
Holy shit. That's one way of explaining.
Okie dokie. I think that might have been a different clip than I was expecting. But, you know, it is what it is. So that's kind of the energy that has been going on. Here's another clip right here. This is from Chris Cuomo's show on News Nation. Yes, he is back on television, and he's trying to talk more about this whole anti-Semitic thing. And to give a little bit of background behind that, he was talking about how the Jews control the record labels and all the big industries, and that was the general context of what Kanye was saying. So let's play this clip right here.
The moment at the Fife funeral is there's so many black musicians signed to Jewish record labels, and those Jewish record labels take ownership not only of the publishing, like how MC Search is selling Nas publishing right now.
Now let's pause right here. Now what he's saying about MC Search and Nas is correct. MC Search, if you don't know, he is a rapper. What was Search part of? Was he part of Everlast at one point? I don't know. He was part of a rap group back in the day. If you guys are back in the 80s, 90s, you know what I'm talking about. But MC Search, he has a publishing company called Searchlight Publishing, Serchlite Publishing. And he signed Nas back when Nas was like 18, 19 years old to a publishing deal back when Illmatic and stuff like that came out, like 1994. So he's always owned that since then. So he's saying that it's somehow, I don't know, just pointing that out to say that they control everything, meaning the Jews control everything. So that's the context behind that statement.
But also ownership of the culture itself. It's like, oh, that's mine. This guy signed to me. It's like a modern day slavery.
But here's a contradiction here. Kanye has a record label too. Kanye has good music. He has had artists signed to him. Sci-Hi the Prince, Pusha T, Big Sean. I think at one point even John Legend. A lot of these guys were signed to Kanye West. So he's talking about slave master this, slave master that. I don't get it. And then at one point he was signed to Rockefeller Records, which was Jay-Z, Dame Dash. Now, of course, they had a bigger boss, Def Jam, which is, I think, Russell Simmons and maybe even Rick Rubin, one of these guys. Lear Cohen, who's Jewish, obviously. But you see, he's doing the exact same thing to artists that he says the Jews are doing to him. So I don't understand where he's going with his line of reasoning here. I don't really get it.
And I'm calling it out. That's what DEFCON 3 meant. I'm going to call it out. It didn't mean I wish any harm on my
Yeah, you
fellow
say you're
Jewish
going
people.
DEFCON 3 on them. Look, I'm out of time on this. I wanted to give you a platform to explain it.
Wait a second. I just said what I meant. Did you want me to say what I meant?
I hear
Did
you.
it make sense?
You said what you meant. I'm just telling you how I take it and how I think other people are taking it, and how I think how your friends were Jewish
you said
are
how
going to
you
take
took it. What do you mean take it? I just came and said and explained this is what I meant by it. I meant I'm calling out all these contracts.
I know, but just because you're calling it out.
Now let's just okay, we can stop right there. But as far as like Jews in the music industry, there may be some shady deals, of course, between a Jewish person that controls a record label and a black rapper, singer, whatever. But let's not act like that is exclusive to Jewish people. Please, let's not do that. Puff Daddy, you and your notoriously bad deals. Master P signed Ricky Williams, the athlete, to a contract when he came into the NFL, which was notoriously bad. Notoriously bad. Let's not act like it's a one-sided thing. You see what I'm saying? We could talk about how Jews are signing people to bad record deals. Let's talk about whites and blacks and the whole industry that's the same way. Some of his artists were signed to bad deals on his label. So I don't really understand, but let's keep on rocking here. Now, let's check this out right here. So since Kanye has been restricted from Instagram and he had posts deleted on Twitter, I think the next thing for him to do is buy Parler. Now, Parler is a Twitter clone, same as Gab and Truth Social. Now, the thing about Parler is that George Farmer owns the company that owns Parler. George Farmer is Candace Owens' husband. So you got to have that context to understand why he may be buying Parler right now. Let's play a little bit of this, and you're going to hear George talking. But what they're not going to talk about is how George is Candace's husband. Or maybe they say that, but they don't say it in the very beginning.
Kanye West expanding his empire into the digital stage. Kanye is planning to acquire popular search media site, a social media company, Parler. Joining me right now for a Fox Business exclusive with more on this breaking news is Parliament Technology CEO George Farmer. George, it's great to see you. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
Good morning, Maria. It's good to be with you.
So is this selling the company to Kanye West?
Well, Parliament Technologies is the parent that owns the Parler asset, and the Parler asset is being sold to Kanye West. Correct.
And tell me why you made this decision. I know that you reorganized the company and created Parliament Technologies as the parent just last month. I want to ask you about that reorg, but first, give us your take on why Kanye West will acquire this and what this does for Parler.
So, I mean, I think there's a couple of things to be said here. The first is that Parler needs Ye in many ways because Parler needs its brand to expand. And I think Ye is very interested in expanding his social media presence. What motivated this for him was, of course, his banning from other social media platforms. And this is a trend that we've seen with so many different people.
Okay, I'll play the rest of that in the box. But you kind of see what's going on. Okay, he's had problems with different platforms. Let me come back so you can see me clearly. He's had problems on Twitter, of course, having tweets deleted, Instagram having his account restricted and whatnot because of the posts. He's talking about Jews. He's talking about this. He's talking about that. So he said he wants to go buy Parler. But see, the problem with Parler is that it sucks. Parler and Truth Social, which is Trump's social media platform, and also Gab and a bunch of other Twitter clones, have no value at all beyond the fact that they may have a person on there that you want to follow. But check it out. Let's say Kanye buys Parler and then he does not tweet or post anywhere other than Parler. What's going to happen is you're going to have basically bot accounts that would repost whatever he posts on Parler onto the main social media platforms. And those bot accounts will have more combined followers than his following on Parler. So it just becomes useless. It's like a pointless thing when the same stuff will be on the other. You got to have a presence on the biggest platforms. You can have an alternative platform, but why? Why have a Parler when it's the same as Twitter? It needs to be different than Twitter. I think what's happening to Kanye West as I close is that he's getting a lot of information from a lot of different places and doesn't really understand how to really, how to deal with it all. Okay. You got the info about Jews controlling things and, being in high level positions of power, overrepresented in CEOs and financial industry and banking. Okay, cool. But now what? You know that. Now what? What's the next step? You could point it out, but what's the next step? Huh? Have we thought that far? Same thing with Parler. Okay, you realize that there is an alternative social media platform where you won't get banned. You can say whatever you want to say, and you buy it for however much money. Now what? Is it going to make anything different? Is it going to change anything? And the same thing with, he says that the black folks, we're the real Jews. That's getting into the black Hebrew Israelites and the 12 tribes of Judah and stuff like that. I've been down that rabbit hole many years ago. I went down the BHI, Nation of Islam rabbit hole when I was like 18, 19. So I understand what it's like to be right there. And as I studied more and more about the Jews and whatnot, I realized that at a certain point, you got to get beyond it. Ultimately, what matters the most is personal accountability. You could blame the Jew, you could blame the white man, but how is that going to help you? You can expose certain things that somebody may not have known. You can expose it, but then what? What's the next step? I'm all about moving forward and advancing forward, not just having all the information in my head and letting it just, ping around in there with no plans on going forward or doing anything productive with the information. But as I close, real, I'm going to say this. I think that Kanye should be permitted to say certain things that are unpopular. I don't think that it should be removed from the internet. You should be able to have the information out there. Sure. Just like I was able to find information about all of what he's talking about, I read about 20 years ago, everything. But obviously now at my age, I was able to move beyond it and think much more clearly and deeper. Now that I've got a broad understanding of the world and understand what's going on, I'm able to think differently and deeper for myself. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Kanye West said? Is his opinion right? Is it wrong? Did he present things as facts that are not facts? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Some things he said were factually correct, like MC searching knives and whatnot. That's correct. But pointing out the whole Jew thing is like pointing out the whole white man thing, because you could say Jews run the world. Okay. You could also say whites run the world, because ultimately you're talking about white Jewish people, because he says that he's a Jew and he's black. But when he's talking about the Jews, he's not referring to himself. He's referring to the white people, basically. So it's the same argument, in my opinion, as blaming the white man. So what do you do with that? How do you go forward with that and progress in a realistic way? I don't know. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.